I wish the end game was the whole game. Hey, Rene Garcia with Games Gear Tech, and today I am reviewing Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem. Before we get into the review, please leave a like and subscribe for more game videos. And if you like videos on technology and survival/tactical gear, then stick around because you'll find those videos on this channel as well. Now, on to the review. Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem is a Diablo-like action RPG with the camera placed isometrically with the player character centered on screen. Actions are mostly performed by the mouse. Clicking lets the player interact with the world. Click the ground to walk there, click a chest and it opens. Click an NPC to talk to them. Typically, however, you'll spend your time clicking on monsters to kill them. To help make killing monsters easier, players get to customize their character with special skills and upgrades. Increasing your core attributes has general benefits, but you also get a point each level to spend on more specialized benefits. This is done through an interesting skill tree spread across 3 spinning rings. The farther you branch out, the more specialized your selections become. The result is a satisfying variety for customizing your experience to the playstyle that suits you. The core gameplay, however, does get a little repetitive. What I mean by that is that it gets even more repetitive than you'd expect in this genre. Speaking exclusively about the story campaign, if you exclude the boss battles, then the fights feel more like a chore rather than exciting encounters that test your ability. You easily wade through the mobs like an unstoppable force, and even the elite ones don't pose much challenge. Furthermore, there's very little reason to explore the lengthy maps since random events are few and far between. I often found myself just running to the exit to move the story along. And this is where I think the game suffers the most: the story. I'm sure if someone sat down with me and told me the overarching story and plot of the game, then it would make complete sense and have all the necessary momentum and pacing to really capture my attention. While playing the game, however, it's basically incomprehensible. The player takes the role of one of 3 children of Hemlock, who is the Grand Inquisitor for a military group called the Purifiers. And the Purifiers are responsible for defending the Republic against the supernatural. When another group called the Brotherhood of Dawn attacks a Republic fortress, the Purifiers are sent to retaliate against the Brotherhood. You and your siblings join the attack, and it's here, fighting against spirits and demons, that you discover the ability to turn into a divine being of incredible power. Unfortunately, this newfound supernatural ability puts you at odds with the Purifiers, leaving you to fend for yourself. The problem here is that Wolcen tries to tell a sweeping story that doesn't fit the action RPG framework. Typically, when telling a story, you want to set up as much as possible early so that the audience can have expectations as the story continues. Then the storyteller can either fulfill or subvert those expectations. With Wolcen, it just feels like anything could happen. When there's a betrayal, I'm neither surprised nor unsurprised because I had no expectation either way. When someone tells me to get some item because it's important, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing that now. It just feels like I'm going through the motions. Where Wolcen shines is in its presentation. This game looks beautiful, especially the early levels. It's really cool to be fighting on a ledge and see your allies fighting below in the distance. Wolcen makes excellent use of bokeh effects to give the illusion of depth, which adds an unexpected level of visual fidelity. Not everything is perfect, of course. Most of the characters don't have speaking facial animations. At least one character model wasn't posed, and there are a number of bugs and network issues. But overall, the experience is solid. It wasn't until I got to the end game content that I really started to enjoy Wolcen. I think it was because I had no expectation for story. In fact, the story campaign doesn't even tie in neatly with the endgame content. And so I just prepared my mind for the grind. But I was pleasantly surprised to find that Wolcen included a very light city building component to the endgame. Essentially, parts of the city need to be rebuilt or improved and require resources to do so. When you select a project to work on, an advisor or a stakeholder will chime in with some insight. Then you have to gather those resources by venturing into dungeons and grinding. And while the grinding aspect was expected, the city building component was not. And it got my mind spinning. How cool would this game have been if the endgame content had been the entire game? It could have been something like the Diablo version of ActRaiser, the old Super Nintendo classic that was both side-scrolling platformer and SimCity all in one. The more I played, the more I thought, man, what a missed opportunity. Overall, I think Wolcen Lords of Mayhem is an enjoyable game. It's got solid mechanics, a wonderful presentation, and tremendous value for what you're paying. The bugs will get worked out in time, so I won't knock the game too hard on that point. I do wish that the game was less ambitious with the story, but don't let that stop you from playing this game. And that's my review of Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. Have you played this game? Do you like it? Do you know who the Lords of Mayhem are? Because I don't. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more game reviews. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.
You look awfully real for a nightmare. What was that?
She's possessed by a demon.
Yes. Let's hope you're wrong. Otherwise...
Talking to yourself again?
Speak of the devil. Darling, I need a moment. Talk to you later.
Whoa! Easy now! Val, snap out of it!